Hello everyone. Welcome to the lab of heat and mass transfer in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, New Campus, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore. My name is Muhammad Adil Munir, and today we will learn how to perform the lab session number 6 in this lab. We are moving towards lab session number 6. The lab is about to calculate the total heat transfer of combined convection and radiation heat transfer mechanism. So now what we will do here, we will just calculate the heat transfer due to radiation and due to convection, and then we will add both the heat transfers to get the total heat transfer. So now the main parts we will use here, these are the heater power. Then the heater we will use, we will measure its temperature through some sensor which are thermocouple, and they will be denoted by T10. Then we will use air velocity sensor, which will measure the speed of air. Then we will also measure the temperature of that air, and that will be represented by T9. Then there is a throttle butterfly, which is used to increase the velocity of air. Then there is a fan, and by using the fan, we may increase the velocity of air. And then main switch and main digital control panel. So the operators we will use here is a combined convection and radiation, and its code is H111D. So now there will be some important dimensions we will use here, because first of all we will look at the schematic diagram. This is the schematic diagram of our experiment. You can say it is just a cylinder. So on the top of the cylinder there is a heater, and heater will provide the heat, and we will measure its temperature through a sensor which is thermocouple, and that will be denoted by T10. Then there is a air velocity sensor used here to measure the velocity of air, and there is a sensor as well as which will measure the temperature of air. So now at the bottom part of this operators there is a main switch, and then there is a digital meter from which we will measure the velocity of air. So now for this cylinder, it has some length and diameter and area as well. So if we have the readings, we have the values of all of these characteristics. Say cylinder diameter is given as 0.01 meter, its length is given as 0.07 meter, and the effective area of cylinder, this is a surface area which will be heated there, that is 0.0022 meter square. So another thing is that effective air velocity, the air velocity that we will measure through a sensor, that will be UA, that will be denoted by UA, and it will be multiplied by 1.22 to get the effective velocity. And we will use this effective velocity in our calculation because of the throttling effect. There is some change of velocity, so we are just multiplying it by a factor 1.22. So now we will see the observation table, what are the values that we will measure during our experiment. This is the observation table. We will provide the voltage and current, and then we will measure the value of T9, that is the temperature of air for this experiment, and then T10, this is the temperature of heater. All of these all of these description is given here as well. So now this is all about the observation table. Now we will move towards the lab, and we will see how we will use this equipment to measure these dimensions. Then after that we will further process the readings, and we will learn how to use all of these readings to calculate the different dimensions. So first of all, before going into laboratory, I would like to tell you that the safety precautions is the essential part of our laboratory. And because we are using here heavy electrical equipment which is working on heavy voltages, So our first precautionary measure is about the electrical safety. uh, we will use all of these equipment with very carefully, so that any hazard or any accident due to electrical power that may be avoided. So now we will move towards the laboratory to see that how we will perform this experiment. Okay, now we are in the lab uh, to perform this lab session number 6. This is apparatus, and you can see on the top of this apparatus there is a heater on the right side of top. So this heater will provide the heat, and on this heater we also have sensor which will measure the temperature of heater. And you can see that on the middle of this apparatus there is a air sensor which will measure the velocity of air. And this is the bottom part, which has a main switch and as well as the fan switch, and it also has some throttle valve. We will provide the velocity of air by using this throttle valve, and there is a digital meter on the bottom, on the right bottom. So we will measure, or we will read the value of velocity of air from this digital meter. So now we will move towards the apparatus that, and we will see how we will perform this experiment. And on the left side there is a, this is a digital meter which will provide the voltage and current to the heater, and we will measure the value of voltage and current and temperatures on this digital meter. So now what he is doing, he is just attaching the apparatus on the main console unit, and he just has attached it. And now he is attaching the temperature sensor switches to sockets, and numbers are written on the respective sockets. This is T10 and T9. T10 is for heater and T9 is for air. So he has placed them in their respective places, respective sockets. Now he has switched on the main console unit, and now the heat is provided to the heater. Now we can read the values of voltage and current from this unit, and we also can change the value of voltage by this black knob. By rotating, by the rotation of this black knob, it will change. And we will measure the temperature from this main console as well. So now this is our main apparatus, and he has switched on the apparatus, and we will measure the value of air velocity from this bottom digital. And now he has opened the butterfly. So now air is flowing into this apparatus, and heater has started providing the heating. So now from here we can change the voltage. He is changing the value of voltage, and after changing the value we will wait for 10 minutes to stabilize the readings. Then we will rotate this red knob, and then we will take the readings of temperature T9 and T10. When it is on T10, it will provide the reading of T10, that is the heater temperature, and when we will rotate it to T9, it will provide the reading of T9. Now we can change the velocity of air by this butterfly handle, and now he will again change the voltage. And after the change of voltage, now he has changed. Now we will wait here 10 minutes. We will wait for the 10 minutes to stabilize the reading. After 10 to 15 minutes, instead we will take the reading of T9 and T10. And now from here we will get the values of voltage, current, T9 and T10. For different set of reading, we will take at least 4 to 5 readings. So now we will move towards our lab manual to check how we will use these readings to calculate our uh, heat transfer due to radiation and convection. So now coming back to our lab manual, this is the observation table. We have got the value of voltage, current, and against these different values of voltage, we have got the values of T9 and T10. These are the air temperature and heater temperature. So we have 5 set of reading here, and after getting this reading, we will learn how to use these readings to calculate these all parameters. So now what we have to do, we have to calculate the input heat in watt. We have to calculate this QR, that is the heat transfer due to radiation, and we have to calculate this QC, that is the heat transfer due to convection. So for this QR and QC, we also need to calculate this HR, that is the heat transfer coefficient due to radiation, and then this is HC, this is convective heat transfer coefficient. So for this Q input, we just will simply use the formula V into I. We have the values of voltage and current, we will multiply and we will get the different values of this Q input. And now for this HR and HC. I will show you the formulas we will use here. This is the HC and this is HR. So for this HC, we have the value of 1.32 into Ts minus Ta over D. Now, what is Ts? This is the temperature of source. Mean we are using here heater, and that's why that reading is actually T10. So we will add the 273 to convert the value from centigrade to Kelvin, and this is basically Ts. And what is Ta? This is the temperature of air, and we have the value of T9. T9 is actually the temperature of air. We will add 273 to get to convert it into Kelvin, and we will use this value here. This is the diameter of cylinder and its value is given. Here, and this is 0.01 meter. So we will use this value, and now it is very easy to calculate this HC. This is heat transfer coefficient due to convection. And now our next task is to calculate the value of HR. This is the heat transfer coefficient due to radiation. And what is the formula? Formula is given here. This is epsilon, that is the emissivity of surface, and this is sigma. This is Stefan Boltzmann constant. We know the values of these things from literature. We will use here. Again, this is Ts is the temperature of heater, and Ta is the temperature of air. So we have all of these values, and another factor in this formula is the shape factor. So this shape factor, we will take the value of 1 because our apparatus is designed in such a way that this shape factor remains 1. Its value remains 1, and the value of this epsilon we will use here 0.95. So this is also as per the construction of apparatus, its dimensions are given. So we have the value of the sigma from the literature. So we have got or we have measured the value of Ts and Ta. We will use these values to get the values of HR. Now I am moving towards our calculated table. We have calculated this Q input, HR and HC. Now finally we need to calculate QR and QC. And now how we will calculate this QR and QC? These are the formula. QR is basically, this is HR. We already have calculated it. The area, surface area, it is given as I mentioned in the start, and Ts minus Ta. Ts is temperature of heater and Ta is temperature of air. We will use the values to calculate this QR. So finally, now we have to calculate the QC. This is the formula, that is HCAS Ts minus Ta. Again, we have calculated the value of HC, and the value of area is given. Ts, Ta we have measured. So we will get the values of this QR and QC. When we will add both of the values, we will get the total heat transfer due to convection and due to radiations. So that was our experiment, and the detail how we will calculate the both convective and radiative heat transfer, and we will add both of them to get the total heat transfer unit. So the next task is to draw a graph. We will draw the graph of HC and HR against the different values of the surface temperature T10. When I will show you the table, these are the different values of T10. We have observed 5 different readings. So against these 5 different readings, we will plot a graph of this HR, and then we will plot a second graph of HC with respect to this T10. So we will draw here 2 graphs. one is for HR and second is for HC against the different values of this T10, and we will measure their we will observe their trends. So this is about the graph, and then statistical analysis is again because we have taken the 5 readings, and there we will get the 5 values of this Q total. So this X is basically representing the Q total. We will add 5 values of this Q total and we will divide it by 5. This N is the number of observation you are taking here. So we will get the average value of this Q total, and then we need to calculate the standard deviation. We will we will get that average value of Q. We will take the difference of this average value of Q from the first observation, then the average value from second, then third, and so on for fourth observation and fifth observation. We will take their square, we will divide them by n minus 1. N is here 5 because we have taken the 5 observation, and then we will take the square root and to get the uh, reading of the standard deviation, which will show that our operators is a reliable or not. Mean we will getting the same values again and again for different readings or not. So this is all about this lab session number 5, which was to calculate the which was to determine the combined heat transfer from a horizontal cylinder. So this is all about lab session 6. Thank you for, very much. In the next sessions we will learn how to calculate the heat transfer due to convection and radiation, but now next time we will use the forced heat convection. So thank you very much.